All right, welcome everyone. We'll get kicked off here. For those that you do not know, my name is Alex Kostelik. I am the lead for the BrickLink Designer Program. Thanks a lot for taking the time to join us today. We've got some very fun announcements for everyone in this. We're trying something new here, so we'll see how this goes. So bear with us, and hopefully this will be a fun time for everyone. Want to thank all the fan designers who have submitted for Series 6 now. We had 296 submissions, so quite a lot of submissions, which is great because then we have a lot of interesting models to choose from. And there were 230 designers that had submitted all of those models. So a lot of great partners to work with. Hopefully at some point we'll get to work with all of you, as by the time we're on Series 300 and something, but we're really excited to keep this going, and we're really excited to work with everyone moving forward. So let's get into it. So for those of you that don't know, so the BrickLink Designer Program, I'm sure most of you that are here know what the BrickLink Designer Program is, but at least I'd like to give a little bit of background into what we're trying to accomplish with this program, and then also, because it can be kind of confusing, kind of what the schedule of events is. So BrickLink Designer Program, what we do is we are doing fan models that are submitted by fan designers, and we are realizing those into actual Lego sets. And so, kind of the unofficial tagline is these are for fans by fans. Kind of the whole purpose of BrickLink is we are kind of the center of fandom, or for Lego fandom in the Lego group. And so what we do with these models is these models go through crowdfunding or through crowd voting. We have a palette that releases usually about a month or two before submission intake happens. Over the summer, I say a month or two because over the summer we try to give you more time. Everyone's busy being outdoors and all kinds of fun things over the summer. But then also the palette changes significantly. And you'll see that for Series 6, that's the challenge, is that the palette changed quite a bit as we moved from the manufacturing year of 2025 to 2026. So you have a big reset in the amount of elements that are available. So the sense is you slowly build up throughout the year, and then as the manufacturing year changes over, there's less elements to work with. So we go through open submission. That's where we had the 296 models that were submitted over the 10-11 day period that's open. And then we have a week of reviewing those models to make sure that we can include as many models as possible. As models are submitted, we don't openly reject models without there being significant reasons for that. You were blatantly not following the rules, in the sense that you submitted IP, or models were well below 400 or well above 4,000 parts. We try to work with all the fan models or fan designers to get your models approved. And I think that shows us where we're right around 90% of models that are submitted get approved to go into fan voting. So we want to respect your time. Obviously, you're putting a lot of time and effort into it, and we want to work with you on that to get those approved. So that goes into crowd support, which was the phase just before this, which is voting. Voting is very, very important. What that does is, we are a purely democratic process in the sense that the highest voted models are the first to likely be chosen, barring any portfolio conflicts or any other things that might prevent that model. So what we'll do is we'll say typically it's the highest voted set, maybe the second highest voted set. We'll go through, assuming that they're different themes, and then we'll work our way down the list of models as their vote counts go to fill out the rest of the series, to make sure that we have different size models and different themed models. And then once we have those, we'll start working with we'll do our internal reviews, and then we'll start working with the fan designers. So right now we've been working with the fan designers for roughly about a week. And then today we will be announcing them. So that's where we are, where the five finalists get announced today. And then we begin roughly about a 5-month period of working on those models to refine them, to bring them up to kind of the Lego quality, Lego standard. And then also, from what we've learned from you, the fans, is bringing them up to your standard as well, and getting them the models to have a lot more story, a lot more some detailing inside, filling in some things, adding minifigures, that kind of thing. So we'll start working on that, and then a majority of the time in the year and 5 months that it takes to take a model from start to finish is spent manufacturing and preparing for manufacturing. So we have to have all the models set and locked so that we can start producing elements for those models. And then later on, we get to crowdfunding. And so that will be in October of 2025. So it takes about a year to go from intake all the way to when we actually do crowdfunding and pre-ordering of the models. And then about another 5 months from there, when these models will be available in late February, beginning of March of 2026. So it does get a little confusing. If you go to the website, you can see there's typically 5 series ongoing at all times. So it is a lot to kind of keep track of. But if you go to the website, it's all broken down by series. So you can see where each series is at throughout the process. All right. So the whole reason everyone's here. So this stream kind of came as a result of a conversation that we had at BrickWorld Chicago. So CPA approached us with an idea to announce the finalists with a little bit more fanfare, in the sense that historically we've just kind of flipped over the website and ta-da, the finalists are live. Well, now we're going to do a little bit more to that and hopefully create a little bit more fanfare and interaction with the fan community. And hopefully all of you will enjoy this a lot more. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our fan hosts for the day as CPA and SHYTIME.
All right. Thank you so much, Alex, and everyone in chat. I'm so happy to see everyone showing up for this announcement. This is like Alex said, this has been several months in the making, almost 6 months in the making. So I'm super excited that we're finally all here today. And as I was thinking, who do I want next to me announcing these new finalists? And I thought, who better than Shy? My time is my time. Don't laugh. You know you're a real one. You know you got this.
I mean, I remember you thinking about this, for a while, and to see it in fruition, this is actually really cool. There's 1,000 people plus watching this right now on the BrickLink channel. I mean, if you're not subscribed to the BrickLink channel, please do so. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. We want to keep doing this. I mean, CPA, what an idea to kind of bring this to the community. I mean, instead of just pushing it out on the BrickLink website, these sets come from the community. It should be shared with the community, and this is a perfect way to do it. So good job, man.
Exactly. No, appreciate it. And also, I want to give the right credits. One of my friends within the LEGO community actually suggested this to me, so this wasn't all my idea. Shout out to him. Delusion, you're out there. I'm sure you're watching right now. Thank you so much for that suggestion. But I see the chat. The chat is going crazy.
Chat's going.
I see the likes rolling in. We're almost, I know we're kind of plugging the BrickLink channel, which is obviously great. Awesome. We're almost to 8K subscribers. So I'm sure there are more people in chat that aren't subscribed. If you not, all it's going to take now is 30 more subscribers. So make sure you subscribe, as well as, like Alex said, this is the first time we're doing this, just a test, we're kind of feeling it out. If you guys like this, we really appreciate the feedback. Also, if anything goes wrong, if the audio, as I always say in my streams, if the audio volume is off a little bit, music too loud, just let us know, and we'll fix that on the back end. Also, last kind of order of business, if you have any questions or any comments about these sets as we reveal them, make sure you leave your questions in the chat. We have people in the background right now who are looking through, combing, marking different comments for Shy and me to go through later, and we'll definitely hit those comments as we go through, and even at the end as we start to wrap up.
Also, let's shout out the BrickLink team who's behind the scenes right now doing all of this. Like, literally, CP and I are just kind of sitting here talking while there's a huge team on the other end of this that's making this happen.
Exactly. Yeah, normally when I'm streaming, it's like I gotta be watching like 3 different screens to make sure everything's working great. Here, I'm just sitting back and kind of enjoying the experience, and what an experience this will be. So super excited to do that.
Well, right quick before we move on, for the people that don't know who you are, You want to give a little something about you and your channel?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've still got a couple minutes to the next agenda
good.
item. But for those of you who don't know, my name is CPA. My @ is CPAfol. Just over a year ago, actually, May 5th, I was one day away from getting May the 4th of 2023 for my channel start date. I started just making Lego videos, commentary, web reviews, stuff like that. And then in the fall of 2023, so just over a year ago, I was looking through different sets that seemed to appreciate in value a lot, and they had these very weird set numbers. So I was like, what are these like 9100 sets? Little did I know, after a couple weeks of investigating, these things were called the BrickLink Designer Program. It's evolved so much over the past couple years, honestly, but it's crazy to think that just over a year ago, I was looking at these sets online, waiting for the next pre-orders to come out. So if you'd have told me a year ago, yeah, you're going to be working with Shy, co-hosting a reveal stream for a future series, I would have said, yeah, okay, yeah, you're funny. That's a funny joke. It's not April Fool's yet. But here we are, a little over a year later, doing a live stream reveal with over 1,100 people in chat. So I'm super excited for this.
A long way from wearing a suit, huh?
Yeah, that's right. I did do those in suits. I've tapered down a little bit, still looking a little profesh, but tapering it back a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. That's good to go. I mean, you are a CPA for real, though, right?
That is true. I guess I should have kind of explained that. Yes, I am a CPA in real life. I let people know based on my Outlook that I will be out this afternoon, so I don't have to worry about calls and all that stuff. But
I muted I have my workstation right in front of me. I muted everything.
Yeah. No, it's like no distractions. This is, for now, this is way more important than work.
At least you're not selecting like the comments this time.
Yeah.
Just reading through. So one less stress, right?
It's too fast.
No, it is.
Comments are going too fast. But let's go ahead and get to the next slide, because we have a little bit of something for you all today. We have 5 what we're going to call mystery boxes, mystery sets. And now by this time, I would say all of you probably know what's about to happen. One by one, we're going to reveal these 5 sets. And then for those designers that are able to make it today, we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A with them.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Along with those questions I mentioned before, make sure you are putting your questions for the designers in the chat, and we'll look at those as we reveal the sets.
Right, this is a much funner way to do this, right? Instead of just, hey, here they are.
Yeah, because I'm even going to hype it up and tease it a little more, because Shy, you and I'm going to do this tastefully. You and I, we know who the finalists are.
Yeah, we do. Fair enough.
You know who we're going to show up next, right?
Mm-hmm. I do.
And anything off the bat you want to like tease?
I mean, it's in my forte. It's something that I would immediately buy. So if you know me, if you know like what I do on the internets, it's something that I think is a day one, like, minute click once it's available to buy.
Yeah, and full disclosure, and I think you're fine with me sharing this. When I shared them with Shy, he said, "Well, looks like my wallet's going to be empty that month."
Oh yes,
because we've got some really good finalists in this round. But this first one, it's, for me personally, it's one that I've wanted for a while now.
I'm in the same boat. Like, I wanted this one.
Maybe gives some of the chat a little bit of a tease of which set this might be. Also, one more thing. It's a return designer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a designer who's not a stranger to the BrickLink Designer Program. So maybe a little more information. Last thing, you want to tell them which category?
Well,
you can give them a category.
I mean, if you're looking at my screen right now, it's on this side.
The category, yep.
It's on this side.
Yeah, so maybe.
I mean, everyone had some good guesses. I mean, there's a few in there that
you seen
kind of relate. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've done enough damage to the chat and their endurance. So let's go ahead and kick it to the next screen, kick it to the video, and let's show the people what they're going to get.
Let's go.
Yes.
Finally, I can say something.
Yes. Let's go. The Art Factory. This is And we have the legend. I'm going to call you the legend. I know you don't like that, Brickester, but what an amazing design that you have created for us and for the community today. So we've got a couple questions. I'll read you some of the ones we prepared beforehand, and I think you've been able to look through those. But one of the facts, one of the features of this set is that it opens and closes like a storybook, very similar to your Art of Chocolate as well, which is a beautiful design. But how did you achieve that design? How did you kind of decide from the outset that it's something you wanted to do? And ultimately, how did you see that to fruition?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for the introductions, and I'm so happy. I'm so thrilled with this. And the first thing I would like to do is to thank all the people who vote for this project in Series 5 and then again in Series 6. It was unbelievable. I received tons of messages. You did it. That's the truth. You made this possible.
Yes.
And also, I would like to thank the whole BrickLink team and the Lego Group for trusting one of my designs once more. Yes. I feel very grateful. I'm so honored to work with you again. And about your question, let's see about the folding design. I've been working about the with this folding design for a while, for a long time, I should say. I used it twice before the Art Factory. And I think that with this kind of design, you will get different display options for the building, both of them equally finished, which is something unprecedented when we talk about this kind of buildings.
Yes.
And also from the inside, there's something that for me it's very, very interesting, which is that when the building is open, you have many different rooms in which separated rooms. I mean, in which different art activities take place. And when you close it, for example, in the first floor, the piano provides the music for the ballet, and in the second floor, the photography studio shares the same space with the painting academy, which totally makes sense, at least to my eye. I work many times with painting academies because I'm a professional photographer. I work for them, and I see that many times they have their own photography studio. So that's one of the things. The other thing is the point of view of the user. You know, in this case, is from a side. In the modular buildings, you are always looking from the top of the building. So for me, it's I feel it is natural when you enter to any room, your point of view is from a side. And well, I like to reproduce that with this design. Also, last thing about the folding design. You know, many times when you design something, a building, and you put the back closed with hinge walls, some people say you should leave it open. If you leave it open, you would receive tons of messages saying, why you don't close it?
I'm one of those people.
So in this case, you have both of them, the both options, and you can choose between the both of them. So
awesome. Love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have within it, you have multiple things going on. You have multiple stories going on. Out of the entire, all three floors, which of these vignettes is your favorite?
Well, perhaps it's not inside. It's from the outside. I like the rat in the under the
nice
under the sidewalk, because for me I call it the lucky rat. It was present in my Brick Cross train station under the platform, the train platform. It was also present in the Art of Chocolate. And somehow I forgot to include it in the Series 5 version of the Art Factory.
Okay.
I forgot it. I put it again in Series 6, and here we are.
Oh man,
Wow.
the
It's all
lucky
about the
rat.
rat.
That is awesome.
I was just gonna say that's what I mean. It's appropriate for a building like this because this is something that we have here in LA and in a couple places in downtown to have a rat just running around in the city like this. But I'm excited for it. I mean, if I can, I'm gonna get two because I want to fully enclose it in the full expanded
size
version because this is going in my city for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Couple of questions from the chat. One person says, "What is the base plate size?" So it's got the two base plates, I think.
When it's closed, it's 32 by 32 studs, and when it's open, 64 by 16 studs.
Nice, perfect. And then another question from the chat: do the hinges stop it from being butted up against other modulars if you put it next to another modular?
No, because well, the idea, you know, this is not a modular building.
Yep.
It's not. It doesn't fit with the pins and the whole modular line. But if you want to put it together, well, from the side there's no hinge. The hinge are in the back, so it doesn't matter. I think it's not a problem for.
Nice.
If I understand properly the question, I think that the hinges are in the back, not in the sides.
Okay, got it. And yeah, I think to kind of get to the main point of their question, it's of course it was modified from an original modular set to be more in conformance with the rules, and so it probably could be modified. But would you agree that's not the intention?
Yeah. I when I get know about the news about the buildings with BrickLink and the banned situation of the modular buildings, I take it as an opportunity to fully disconnect this building from the modular line. You know, I already know that this wasn't a modular building. And again, it was like an opportunity for this fully disconnected and take the opportunity to make some extra functionality that you are going to see in the next months, because in the next months we are going to develop some things. You will find some surprises in the final product.
Easter eggs. Nice.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people might not know, is that from the selection process to final, there, like you said, there are some changes that can be made, but only for the better. They're never gonna chop down and try and downsize or adjust that way, but only gets better.
Yeah, I think that the idea of the program, if don't modify the things too much, you know, the people vote for something and they want that. So minor things to improve the whole design, and well, that's it. I can't I can't unveil many things that I have in my mind, but as I told you, I think that you are going to get some surprises for the final product.
Awesome.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to that, but I will be modularizing this so I can put it against my city. But a little thing about having it all enclosed like that with the, you know, surrounding sidewalks, it's a standalone build on its own, so you don't have to put it in a city and it looks good on its own. But, you know, I think we're all able to easily figure out a way to put this in a city, so I'm not worried about that. So great job either way.
Yeah.
So also, you know, the 32 by 32 stat fits in every city, I guess. Because that's the base place of many of the modulars. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. I know the fan community of modular buildings is huge, so they will, for sure, they will figure it out, and they will have some ideas to adapt it to the cities. But I think that most of the people don't have space for full cities.
Space is a problem
for all of us.
So in this case, you'll get a 2-in-1. You know, an open. If the building is open, you have a full display option, and if you close it, you can put it next to other modular buildings, and you don't notice that there's a difference between them.
Yes. Well, man, hey, thank you for sharing all that with us. So great job. Looking forward to the actual set and all the future things you're going to end up submitting anyways.
Yes, love your designs. Keep making them, and I'm sure the fan community will continue to vote for them. So thank you again for your time. Chat is in love with your design, but once again, thank you so much. And we're going to move on to our next model. Thank you again, Marcos.
Bye.
See you later.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
All right.
Ooh.
What a beauty. Ooh.
I'm
One
excited.
down, 4 more to go. Moving on to the next set, we're kind of backing it off in size a little bit. We're gonna go to a smaller set. A fun design. I do have to say, this is a fun little design. I think a lot of us can probably see ourselves in here. I don't know. Have you ever been on an adventure like we're about to see?
I mean, I have.
Yeah.
I think
Good
it's stories,
I'm sure.
Without saying it.
Okay, well, we won't spoil anything. We'll have them kick to the next video. Let's see our
let's
next
go.
finalist.
There we go. I
There
got
it
worried for a
is.
second there.
Yeah. Well, another artifact. No, first I think we can all. We're about 30 minutes in. I think we can all forgive a little oopsie.
Yeah, that's all good. It's all good. No, but yes. Off-road adventure.
Yeah, I love the trees, the land, another landscape design, of course, another designer. He's been creating these kind of small vignettes of sorts. And unfortunately, the designer isn't able to be here today. So we've got Alex stepping in for him. The first question, how does the designer connect to this model of camping adventure, and in what way?
Yeah, so King Creations had made it very clear that this is kind of the next iteration of Camping Adventure from Series 3, or kind of works in universe with that. And so the idea for Off-Road Adventure was to be a companion piece to Camping Adventure, and that the concept of the model started based on comments from Camping Adventure asking for something to pull it. And he said the very first thing he designed for the model was the SUV, which can connect directly to the camper, allowing for a larger variety of play and display options if you do end up having both of the models. But he said past that connection, the model also continues the story of the same family featured in Camping Adventure. In Camping Adventure, it is the father and the daughter, whereas this time around, it's the parents going on their own more rugged trip.
Okay.
And they're reusing some of their favorite camping tools that you'll see, but then so you might recognize a few of the accessories that were also found in Camping Adventure. But with that being said, the model is still designed to stand on its own from Camping Adventure, but it's featuring its own unique building techniques, landscape details, and giving it the adventure a breath of fresh air.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So with the other question there is that how did he approach this model to fit such detail in like a smaller piece count, you know?
Yeah, so it said he focused on limiting the footprint of the model so that it had the parts budget to pack the scene with detail. You know, that's something that we as AFOLs will always kind of we'll forget, is that when we're designing mocks, we don't have part counts that we have to worry about, and so we can really pack detail.
Bigger is better.
Keeping it smaller allowed him to add more trees, the ground cover, and the elevation, so that it feels like a slice of a full live forest. So I think
it definitely gives that vibe for sure.
Yeah, no, and I think it's important to remember that these people often overlook the smaller sets, unfortunately, and they include some really unique designs that have some really unique detail, like this one here. And so that's a little bit of a plug for future series, is create those smaller designs. And it honestly, it probably is a maybe more enjoyable design process. You don't have to stress out about making these huge footprint sets. But then you can also maybe have a better chance of getting as a finalist, because there aren't many that get submitted compared to the huge ones.
No, and they're easily obtainable because they're lower in price point.
Yes.
So it's a good set. I mean, this set right here is a good one to just buy because it's definitely going to be cheaper. I know a lot of people like to complain of how expensive these can get because, you know, well, look at what you're getting. But this feels like a mock from someone within the community. Like, it doesn't feel so much Lego-fied. Like the detail just on the left side right there on the, you know, from the rock work all the way to the tree to the right, like it feels like a mock builder for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of good vibes about this one in the chat. And like you said, Shy, it's really easy. If you're already picking up one, it's really easy to justify another $50 to $70 purchase. So like, oh, why not? I mean, I'm already getting one. Might as well grab another one.
I could just click this too.
Yeah. And they always, like you said, they always sell out. They always do really well. So I think it's something important to remember.
Oh, and you know, for someone like me who doesn't have a lot of space, this is an easily justifiable, you know, like reason to get something and put it somewhere hidden in a library.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of good comments. London Bridge Bricks says, small designs are great. I'm totally happy that BrickLink aim at different price points. We've had the Snack Shack and the Mushroom House, both below $100. And like, I agree, it's great to see those sets. All right, so I think we're gonna kick it to the next one.
Let's go next.
And Shy, let's try and hype this one up a little bit. I think this one might deserve some hype. Have you seen some of the dialogue online about various different sets, maybe like this one we're about to see?
I mean, I sort of, kind of. I mean, I don't want to give this away because if you know me, if you like truly know like deep lore, you'll know somewhat of what my favorite theme is, and it's not the obvious one. So,
okay,
yeah, let's get right into it.
Oh man, I want to keep them waiting though.
I mean, dude.
So this is a big one. This is a bigger set. It's just over, or it's between, I'll say 3,500 and 4,000 pieces.
It's a big piece. It's definitely
a big one. I also have seen a lot of chatter about this online, like a lot. If it was gonna be between one or two of the big sets, it's one of these. Okay, I see enough people in chat are asking, so I won't hold you anymore. Let's kick off the video.
Let's go.
Oh
yeah.
Hello. How's it going? Hello, everyone. Project. Oh,
great.
Man.
Thank you.
I imagine you've been seeing the chatter online about this. How closely do you follow with the community and what they're saying about your design before being selected?
Oh, I mean, this is just awesome to see all the amazing comments. I mean, when I design a model, the first thing is just that I want to like this model.
Yes.
I'm a bit the first fan of the model. And then the rest, it's like unexpected. I don't know if the community will like the model or not. I'm just in love with it. And then when you see all the comments, it's just a dream come true. It's awesome to read, really.
Absolutely. And of course, quick question here with the era of your model. Do you really like the old Western type theme? Are you a big fan of that, or what was your main inspiration for that era?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I mean, yeah, I was mostly inspired by the famous gold rush that was in the United States and Canada in the 19th century. But honestly, I don't really want to place my model into like a historical timeline, because I mean, when I design a model, what I love to do is just build with my imagination. I mean, I know that I want to build a gold mine, so for sure I will take like real life references from the internet of old gold mines. But then I use my imagination to make a mix of it. And this is just what I love with Lego. I mean, it's like to mix reality and imagination. And this is like so fun to make. But for sure, I try to keep realistic elements to make something recognizable. But yeah, imagination takes a big part in the designing process, I would say.
Awesome. Yeah. And obviously the chat is loving this build.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I see that. Thank you
I
so
trust
much.
that doesn't surprise you because of all the love this got beforehand.
I mean, for someone who really loves Western is like one of, if not the favorite theme of mine. And there's not really much you can get from the past of what Lego's come up with, but it's always cool to see a throwback or an homage to the theme. And this one right here obviously does that, but it's also on its own. Like you could use this wherever you want. If it could be more modern, like, you know, a cityscape, or if you just want to have like a story within the past century, let alone the century before that. But, you know, it's fully enclosed, which I love.
Yes.
But like, do you have like a favorite build inside the model that we could probably miss because it's enclosed?
It's so dense. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have plenty of awesome features that I love in this model, but if I need to choose one, I think I would say the secret treasure room inside the waterfall. It's like in the back of the model next to the watermill. I don't know if we can see it on the images, but like I have built like a tech. I mean, yeah, it's on the back. So I have added like a Technic axle that you can rotate and then reveal the treasure room inside.
Ooh.
And this is just what I love when building Lego sets, is adding like small Easter eggs, secret room, like also to access, like in the first layer, to access the safe bank room. You can only access it via a little tunnel you need to cross that is inside the rocky part of the build. And yeah, I just love it. And I cannot say it right now, but I'm working on many new Easter eggs. So I will reveal it next year. But this is just something that I love to include.
That's amazing. And as the chat is buzzing, if anyone in the chat has questions, definitely let us know. We'll have people picking those out as you ask. But man, with this design, it's like I said, it's so dense. Do you start with those kind of Easter eggs, or as you're building, or those little more of the Technic functions, do you have those in the back of your mind, or are you just kind of going layer by layer and thinking, oh, that would be fun to add there?
Yeah, I mean when I decide the shape of the model, it's like the big part of the process. I mean, when I start, I know I want to build a gold mine, but I don't know how to start. So then I start to put like a big room, then another one, and then I said, oh no, I don't like it. So I start from scratch again, and again and again, and then I find the good shape, and then comes the fun part where you can then add the little details, Easter eggs, and mechanical stuff. But yeah, I always start with the main shape of the model, and then I add this mechanical stuff and Easter eggs. And yeah, the mechanical stuff was very tricky to do.
I believe it.
This is very unusual, and I generally not build like mechanical stuff.
Yeah.
But I decided to add it, and really I love it. But it was not very easy.
Yeah, it certainly turned out great, and well enough for it to be one of, if not the highest voted set. And of course, we're here today as a finalist. So amazing job with this design.
No, this thing is huge. Like, first of all, I love the color. I love the fact that you're adding in different elements that people just love. One being Western, two, there's a rail. There's not really a train, but there's tracks.
Yeah.
It's fully enclosed for like a city building, and it's just tall. Like, were you expecting it to go taller? Shout out to King Older. or did you because you said you already built it from, like, you already knew the size of it, but did you know how tall it was going to be once you finished building the shape?
I mean, the big head frame, like you see on the top, it wasn't planned at the start. So I built like the red house, and then I said to myself, there's something missing. I wanted to have like a big thing that you immediately see when you see the model, and then I said, yeah, I will add a head frame on it, and it looks so cool. But I needed to rebuild everything because the head frame should go from the top to the bottom, and there's like a hole on every layers. So I had to rebuild. But honestly, this is so cool that like there's like a little axle that you can rotate and you can move up and down the rope, and this adds so much playability to it, and I love it.
Yep, and I'm looking at everyone can go on the BrickLink website and look at the pictures in full. I think it's the 5th picture shows the whole column, the whole shaft with the pulley system. But when you were building this set in the Studio app, did you, and maybe this is just a personal preference, do you prefer to build them physically, or do you sort of keep yourself limited to the Studio app? Of course, it can be tough to make sure you have all of the physical pieces, but how did you build this one?
I mean, when I take part in a BDP series, I need to, everyone need to follow specific building palettes. So it's very difficult to build everything in real life and then build digitally, because there are always that parts that you don't have in that good color, or just the part isn't there. So it's very difficult to transfer a model from real life to digital. So this is why I mainly start in digital form. But for some specific elements like the mechanical stuff, it's so hard to build in digital. So I always build it in real life to make sure it works. And and this is such a fun process, but it's very time consuming. But I do both, but mainly digitally for this series.
Yeah, I can only imagine that building the Technic sets in real life, or the Technic portion in real life, saves probably more time than trying to spend in real life or in the Studio app building it. So that's certainly a smart choice there, and I think it obviously worked out very, very well here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, man, great job.
Great job. Yeah, I could see this one doing very well. And yeah, of course, this is your first time as a finalist for the BDP. What kind of feelings, like what was your expectation going into this? How are you feeling right now? Walk us a little bit through that.
I mean, it's just a dream come true. Yeah, when I was a kid, I loved playing Legos, and I recently, when I was 13, I started building like my own mocks with Lego ideas, and my dream was always to have a Lego set with my name, and to know that this is coming true now is just unbelievable. I mean, this is such a fun experience. I build Lego every time of my day. When I have some free times, every time I build Lego, and to know that I have now a Lego set with my name is just awesome. So for sure, it needs to go in crowdfunding first, but it's just amazing to like work with internal designer at BrickLink to make some refinements, and this is such an amazing experience, and I'm so honored to be part of it.
Absolutely, love that so much. I think we've got one more question from the chat. Shy, do you want to take that question?
I can't see it on my end. It's not popping up.
Yep,
yeah,
no
I
worries.
can't see it.
So someone was curious, which designs do you like making best? Like, which ones do you prefer?
From my designs?
I think their question was just in general, like when you're designing stuff for fun or for another project.
I mean, I love building like not modular, but buildings, because I'm just not good at all for vehicles or spaceships or something else, like also mechs and so on. I just love to create like buildings, because I love when things can tell a sort of story behind.
Yeah.
And buildings, it's like the perfect thing to do, because you can add minifigures, you can add plenty of details, and this is so fun. But yeah, for sure, one day I think I will need to start building some other stuff to achieve some experience and all. But yeah, buildings, you can see on my BrickLink page, I've done the sushi restaurants or two, and yeah, I love when you can create like some rooms and things like that. This is such a amazing, yeah.
Awesome. Well, love this design. I know the chat loves this design. I'm very curious to see what the final will look like. And of course, when we go into crowdfunding, I have this opinion is my own. BrickLink, this is not BrickLink's opinion. My opinion is this will get crowdfunded with very, very little problem. No problem at all. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Laters. That's cool. I'm excited for that one. This one's definitely gonna hurt. come time. I hope it gets crowdfunded. I'm sure.
No doubts. No doubts. So we've got 2 left. Only 2 sets left to be revealed to you all in the chat. I'm curious what you all are thinking is going to be left.
I mean, there's some hints out there, and there's some good ones.
Yeah, and
kind of correlate.
I will say this next one I saw in the whole of chat. I saw it pop up a couple times, and I will say this one, it feels very unique for the BrickLink Designer Program as a whole. And I like it because of that, because it's super unique. There's really not much out there like this.
No, there isn't. But right quick, before you even go forward with that, have you seen one of these in real life?
I haven't, and I want to now. Well, I've always wanted to, but now I really, really want to.
Yeah, so that's a little hint to what it's gonna be, because this is hardcore West Coast.
Yeah, you know all about these.
Yeah, these ancient things are pretty impressive if you were ever have the opportunity to see one.
So I'll venture to say they're probably not in minifig scale, would be my guess.
Oh no. Yes. Wait, hold on.
Are you looking at Are you looking at a picture?
I mean, I know what it is.
Yeah,
I can see it. You can argue both ways.
Yeah, because I would imagine that you'd probably have to take more than 4,000 pieces to get it minifig scale.
Oh, no, most definitely.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's kick it to the video, and we can stop teasing you all with this one.
Yeah, let's go.
Sequoia tree trail. What? Like I said, super unique design. I don't think I've seen anything like this. And I didn't know this prior to. Of course, we have the designer Daniel with us here. Welcome and congratulations.
Hello.
With, of course, a sequoia behind you. How appropriate is that, right?
That's appropriate.
Thank you so much. This is actually a picture I took while I was there, and it was, I mean,
clearly
being around these trees is so inspiring. Yeah. That was kind of one of the main inspirations for making this model. So
yeah.
And
people might not know this. I didn't know this before this week. This was originally a Lego Ideas submission.
Yeah.
So how did you go from Lego Ideas to then altering it in the necessary ways with the palette to then bringing it to the BrickLink Designer Program?
Yeah, no, the Lego Ideas project, I mean, was a special project to me just because it was something I was passionate about, sequoia trees and Lego. But throughout the entirety of that project, there's feedback from the fan community and things that I was thinking about as well that, I was thinking, okay, how can I improve this model to be even better? And so when it came to the BrickLink Designer Program, I had all those notes down. So I went to design this project with those improvements in mind. Also, with the BrickLink Designer Program, there's stringent requirements that you have to structure. There's a special palette that you need to adhere to. So definitely had to remodel most of the model, I mean, this is a completely new design compared to the Ideas project.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But it is inspired, there are Easter eggs to that project. It's inspired by many things in that project as well. So, there's 2 large sequoia trees. There is a visitor center. The interior is very close to that Ideas project as well. So there's a lot of Easter eggs kind of to that original project.
Awesome. Love it.
So then, like, looking at these trees, if anyone's seen a real sequoia tree, they're extremely massive, at least especially the older ones. Now, putting that into Lego form is already a challenge amongst itself, right? Because where do you go with size? So what is the biggest challenge you encountered when designing one of these massive sequoia trees?
Yeah, I mean, you guys talked about it, at the beginning. Just scale, I think, is kind of picking the right scale, because I wanted minifigures to be compatible with the design. I didn't want it to be micro scale, but I also, I recognize if I was to do this truly a 1-to-1, to minifigure scale, it wouldn't fit in your house, right? So that's a problem. But so I kind of looked at different models Lego's made over the years, kind of the big tall objects that they've scaled down to be compatible with minifigures, but also still large enough where it pays respect to that height. So things like I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, so Orthanc Tower, like that's one where if it was truly minifigure scale, it would be massive. But they did a good job at scaling it down, keeping the detail while still being a massive design. So that's something that's definitely a challenge I faced. I made multiple size sequoia trees. Like this, the one you see here isn't the only one I made. I made probably 5 or 6 different scales. Wow. And this one here, the large one, I settled on that size, and then the smaller one there too, just kind of a variety in size as well. So
okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty big.
Yeah. And I did a quick search, and just in case anyone else was wondering, these trees in real life are about 25 to 30 feet in diameter. So I don't.
Yeah, the base or the diameter of it would be as big as that visitor center right there.
Yeah,
Sure.
for real. And then a couple questions coming in the chat. I'm going to take the more entertaining one. Sorry, Shy.
Oh, what the? Okay.
Someone asked, "Is there a Sasquatch hiding somewhere in that vignette, in this landscape?"
There may be. Yeah, we just can't see him, right? I think he's somewhere there.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Maybe a future Easter egg coming. Who knows?
We'll see.
And so
I was like trying to find it too in that like this 3 images that we can see. Like, is there one? But
there is actually quite a few Easter eggs in here. Maybe if we have time, I can touch on a couple of them. But so if you kind of there's not an image here, but on the back of this design, there's a display, and it in sequoia forest you'll often find a cutout of a sequoia tree. So they'll cut out kind of a trunk, and they'll display it kind of vertical, and then you can see all the rings on that trunk, and they'll put dates to each of those rings to kind of give you an idea of how old, because these trees, I mean, they grew up to 3,000 years old, and so it gives you kind of a date of how ancient they really are. So there's a bit of an Easter egg in this project as well. On the back, there's a slice of sequoia tree, and there's 2 dates on there, and one of them is the founding date of Lego. So,
ooh, good one.
That's fun.
Easter egg in there.
Well, that was going to lead to a question that was in the chat from Robert Stidham. I hope I said that right. Is the big one based off General Sherman?
Sort of, yeah. So, it's definitely inspired by General Sherman, and you'll actually see, it's not General Sherman. It is actually, the name of the tree is General Brick. So if you actually, there is a sign next to the large tree. You can kind of see it a little bit on that image in kind of that nougat color, but it says the name General Brick, and then the smaller one is General Stud, because
good one.
Are smaller than bricks.
Nice. That's funny. And then Michelle is asking the question. We are all wondering, how tall is this set?
Yes, it is massive. It is really tall. I think even myself designing it in the software, you don't really get a great appreciation for how tall it really is. But when I saw kind of the BrickLink team was able to build it, and you can kind of see the design and how tall it is. It's massive. It's over 21 inches tall.
Ooh.
So it is quite a tall tree.
This
for
is
sure.
going to look great in people's city.
I know, like,
landscape.
I'm
I can
thinking
already
about
see people
people's, like,
foaming at the mouth.
forest like areas of their city. Shout to Hive. But like, okay, just thinking about all that right there. There's another question that I can kind of go off of that. But a question from Zizu says, was the parts count restraint the most challenging part of this design? I would imagine so. Constantly redesigning it to make it a lower piece count or lower count.
For sure. I think, you know, I think with the tree so tall, you know, it does increase the part count quite a bit. But I also wanted to keep it reasonable for the size it is in terms of detailing, while, you know, still having a good amount of detail, but also, you know, not overdoing it or not, you know, making the tree massive. So it definitely is, it's one restriction. I wouldn't say it limited my design. I think, you know, my design is, you know, something that, you know, is just, it's not really influenced too much by the piece count, but I did consider it quite a bit. So yeah.
No, absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing this in people's city sets, city landscapes. And I love one quick final comment, that because when I first looked at the set, I think I had slight concerns about the back of it, because sometimes people can design and the back doesn't necessarily look as good as the front. But I love that it's very much a 360-degree set, and it looks great from all sides, and has like those different Easter eggs that you mentioned, which look fantastic.
That's actually kind of another Easter egg, is the inspiration for this project came from actually a redwood trail that I was walking on in more northern California. But they had a visitor center there, where they had inside the visitor center a model of a sequoia tree. And it was kind of like that 360, so you can kind of see from all different angles. And that was kind of the beginning. That was a while ago, but that was the beginning of kind of the idea in my mind. And so that was really important to me, to have that, you know, that same kind of idea where you can kind of put it in, you know, on a table. You can display it just, you know, by itself or with other models, and it would look good from all different angles. And actually, in this visitor center as well, there is a miniature display of a sequoia tree. So
I was about to say, you should add this set to that display now.
Yeah.
a set in a model of a set. That'd be perfect.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, once again, congratulations on being a finalist. I think you once again are a first finalist. This is your first time.
Yeah,
That's
first
super
time.
Exciting.
Thank you so much to everyone who supported this project, who commented. You know, you're a big part of all this, so thank you so much. And thanks to the BrickLink design team as well.
Absolutely. And thank you for your time, and looking forward to seeing all the updates.
Awesome. Yeah, there's many. So stay tuned.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Thank you. Woo! Another one that's down. Wallet. All right, so
4 down. We only have one left.
All right, so this next one is like, you know, the way this is going is it's not in order, right? We're just doing it in random.
Just random. People are gonna think it's not random, but Alex even told us like this is in the order that they were submitted into the program. So this is truly random. Yes. What are you seeing in chat right now?
Wow. I mean,
I'm seeing castle.
There's definitely a lot of hype for a specific theme.
I don't know why.
That I'm very, very, very familiar with. So, not to disappoint a lot of people out there, but it's not going to disappoint whatsoever. I promise you.
So enough of that. Let's run it for the final one. We won't keep you breathing, holding your breath. Let's roll it. Outlaw Forest Den.
Wolfpack is back, baby.
Oh yeah,
it's back.
Oh, there's all the. Is everyone caps lock? Is it sticking or something? What's wrong? I feel like we need to give it a second for everyone.
I know, right?
Let it sink in and really take in what they're about to all feverishly order come pre-order day.
Mm-hmm.
It comes. Here it is.
Oh man,
Wolfpack finally made it through.
So as you all are coming back down to earth, letting the blood rush back to your heads. I've got some questions. Unfortunately, the designer couldn't be here today, but we had some pre-prepared questions for them. So what features did the designer focus on to tailor this model to the Wolfpack faction in specific?
Yeah, so unfortunately, Brickhammer couldn't be here today, but he shared some notes with us here. And so he said he tried to combine the classic nostalgic aesthetic with the modern building techniques that we are very fond of today to find the perfect balance between retro and the mock level of detail that we've come to expect. And the most important aspect for me was to capture the iconic red, black, and gray color scheme without making it look too kitschy. It was important for me that it was clearly visible that it is a Wolfpack castle, so it had to look weathered, slightly chaotic, and makeshift to honor their bandit identity. In addition, several elements of the set are a direct homage to the old Wolfpack sets from the early 1990s. The bridge and the gatehouse are kind of a direct reference to the Wolfpack Tower, and the blue wagon, which has the hidden chest, is a reference to another set as well.
Oh man, that answer. Not to say I don't want to see you, Alex, but like if he was here,
no, right?
Like as someone who's a huge Castle fan, like everything about that response is perfect. Like a lot of Castle fans want to see modern update techniques to older, Castle themes, especially the classic ones like the Wolfpack, which has been such a hard get for many people to go backwards in time to grab. And we're grateful for Lego to bring this torso back to make this a thing again. But paying that homage to retro and to like what sets came before and to what can be this is like perfect. But like I just said, as you can see, like joy in my words, and I'm about to tear up on that answer. But like so there are so many Castle submissions now, and like it's a very, very popular theme for submissions. Like what do you think like stood out with this model from the rest?
Yeah, so Brickhammer said, I think a lot of Castle fans are really looking forward to the return of the Wolfpack. It's a faction that only had two pretty small sets and one tiny set in the 1990s, but it's still one of the most popular Castle factions of all time, surprisingly. And at the same time, I think that the combination of the Wild Cave, the Chaotic Forest Camp, in front of it, and the small weathered tower gives an exciting alternative to the rather large and clean looking castles that you typically see other factions represented with. And the Outlaw Forest Den looks like it really is a home to a band of robbers. It makes it more aesthetically appealing because there's so much to discover. It offers plenty of play opportunities, which is still important. Even though we are adults, we still like to see play features. Like there's a trap door, there's a secret escape door on the backside as well. The carriage has its hidden cargo, and you can swing open the back to display it with a wider footprint, and then also to access all the wonderful interior detail that exists with it as well.
Awesome. Yeah. And I'm letting Shy take this in. I know castles are more, especially Wolfpack. Is that not your main?
No, Wolfpack's not my thing. But if it came through, and yes, I mean, I did buy 100 of these torsos on online Pick a Brick, so it's definitely something that I'm very happy to see come back. We were teased a little bit, with the Lion Knight's Castle, that little hints of story, lore in there, and like when you think of the Wolfpack, you always see them back then. Like they're always the one figure outside, right? The one that's in jail, the one that's in hiding in the brush or in the back of the castle somewhere. So it's like one of those like hard to obtain factions from back in the day. Wish it came in a battle pack. But okay, we got a question though from Grant. Do we know how tall this one will be?
It's 40 centimeters, I believe. It's like just under. It's like 39.9, I think, is what the description of the submission said. So
okay, so that's like the
it's a tall set.
You get tall, so just put it up right.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tall one, and I'm pretty impressed. If I were to just just from my gut check, taking a look at this set, I would have to guess like it's got to be over 3,000 pieces. There's so much design and rock work and different colors in there. It's got to be over 3,000. But it's
No, it's under
2,500
2,500.
pieces.
Oh, wow.
So this is going to be,
it's-
for you wondering about cost, of course, we don't have the finals by any means,
Mhm.
but there's a lot going on here. And I think a lot of people are going to be wanting this one because it's going to be on the cheaper side. We've seen a couple of expensive castle sets. So this one's going to be a little more inexpensive, most likely, than what we've seen in the past, which is always exciting as well.
Well, and I think the other thing that really comes forward with this model is that how important it is to incorporate the story and kind of the lore and
Yes.
and like Brickhammer mentioned is kind of the idea of who the Wolfpack are. I think this rose to the top because it had the most fleshed out kind of story. It fit all those details because Castle fans know these things, and so it's not just kind of a it's not just a beautiful model. It also checks all the other boxes of it fits the lore, it fits the theme and the style of the Wolfpack. So it wouldn't make sense for the Wolfpack to have this huge castle in a sense.
No, and it doesn't. No, they're bandits.
Yeah.
Well, Engine said, will there be a goat in this set? I don't see one.
There isn't yet, but you never know what might pop up. So
I'd always think that they're the ones going to be stealing the goats, not the ones raising the goats.
Another question in chat by Balaban channel. How long did it take this person to build this castle set? I don't know if we would know the answer without them.
Yeah,
here,
I don't
but
know.
I can only
I'm not
imagine.
sure. I know.
Like over the course of weeks and months of fine tuning. Well, how long is the palette available for? Only about a month.
The palette would have launched in July, so they would have had some modifications to it. I know from talking to Brickhammer when we informed him that he was going to be a finalist was there was a model that was very similar in nature, kind of that was submitted to Series 5 that he downscaled quite a bit to try to get it towards this 2,500 part range. So I would assume based off of that alone, maybe a couple months in the sense that 1 to 2 months for taking a much larger model and trying to kind of redesign it to be a little or to be 1,500-ish parts less. So
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Tom, I was dyslexic for a second. Tom Stephenson says, any Wolfpack, non-Wolfpack figures? I don't see any. It looks like they're all Wolfpacks.
As it is today, yes, I believe it is just a Wolfpack. But those are kind of one of the things that we'll go back in and look at. How cohesive is the story? Not to say that it isn't a great model as it is, but that is some of the things that we're able to do, and we've started doing from kind of Series 4 Plus is making sure that the story makes a lot more sense, making sure that the play features and the detail are there. So we're trying to help the fan designers out with that as well, because that's something that I think the fans have come to expect.
And then another more of a technical question from Engine, but what material will the flag be? Is it be cloth or vinyl or to be determined?
Sticker?
No, so it's I think is it a 5x8 flag piece?
Okay.
Or I'm trying to think of what element it is. Or what the actual dimensions is for, or something like that. But no, we don't have any fabric or loose string or anything like that. We don't have the ability to have that in BDP. So no cloth. I know I feel like this is something we get questions on a lot is, they're going to add cloth to it. And it's like, we don't have, that's not it. What you see is what you get from the palette standpoint. So.
Absolutely.
Ryan Sarimpa says, does it have a prison area?
Let's see.
I don't know. Does it?
To my knowledge, I don't think it does.
To be fair, these are the guys that get into the prisons. It's not the other way around.
They have no use for one.
No.
Yeah. I don't know that they're much for prisoners. So.
All right. Well, super exciting. Super excited for all the Castle fans out there. I think they got a huge win with this set. Looking forward to seeing how it does in the pre-order in a couple months. Very exciting to see that. So as we go back, I think we have the final slide that shows all of the finalists. Yes, there it is.
Oh, ooh.
This is a heavy hitting series, if I do say so myself. I feel like there's just something for everyone, honestly.
Yes, definitely. That's for sure.
I think Shy's just like trying to hold on to his wallet.
Wow. It's like
okay,
things that I already love. Let's just put it all in one series.
yeah.
And I want multiples.
Exactly.
My wife is not going to be happy.
Yeah, no, certainly. Well, as we start to wrap this up, from Shy and from me, I want to thank everyone who joined the chat, who joined the stream, all the questions, all the likes, and we got over 8,000 subs on the channel. How exciting is that? Crossing that threshold. Thank you everyone for doing that. And definitely let us know of the feedback of this. Very excited to hear what you all thought of this format and how we presented the finalists. If you all like it, I mean, I'm down to do it again. So we'll see how it goes, but we'll definitely be open to all the feedback. Absolutely love it. Love the results, and love being here with all of you. So honored.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you, CPA. Thank you, Shy. It was a pleasure having you here. Phenomenal job hosting. We couldn't have done this without you, and it's great collaborating with you.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having me.
Hope to see you all soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a couple quick announcements before we end the stream here. A hearty thanks again for everyone that participated in Series 6, whether you were a fan designer or you voted on and provided your feedback on some of these models. So thanks again to everyone. You know, this is a fan competition, and so we wouldn't be able to do this without you. I think there was a question or two we saw in the chat that might be good to address here. One of them, as we move on to Series 7, so that'll be kind of the next milestone here for BDP, is Series 7 will kick off beginning of December. So December 2nd, you will see the palette for Series 7 go live. And with that, it will be a majority of the elements that were in the Series 6 palette, with the addition of all the elements that have launched in the meantime. So all the elements from September, October, November, December, and then in January, when the January 1st launches go live, then we will also update the palette to include those as well. And submission intake for that is in the middle of January. So we'll go forward with that. And then one of the questions I think that we saw earlier was in regards to previous models that were submitted that haven't been selected as finalists yet. So there used to be a rule where we said that you could only submit to 2 series, but we've changed that from the beginning of Series 6. So if your model has been submitted multiple times, that's fine. You can continue to submit it. There's a lot of really nice models that maybe have just missed out. We'll try to provide feedback to fan designers so that you can hopefully make some tweaks to your models, some improvements, and then enter again. And hopefully you'll have more luck the next time. But yes, so as long as we see some additions, improvements to your model, then it's eligible to keep being submitted to the to BDP or the following BDP series. And then our last announcement is on crowdfunding for Series 4. So make sure you keep your calendars marked for February 4th. It's 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is when crowdfunding for these lovely models that you see here from Series 4 will go live. And just note that you may want to be there for launch, because there's a handful of these sets I'm sure will go quickly. So good luck to everyone, and hope everyone is able to get the sets that they would like. And with that being said, I think that's where we'll bring this stream to an end. Thank you everyone for attending. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. We appreciate all the comments. Please let us know if there's anything we can improve. We hope to do this again in the future and collaborate more with you moving forward. Thanks. Have a great day.